Hey guys, good morning. It's me, Sloan. Um, so a little while ago, I made a video about going to see Deadpool 2 with my friend, 3 with my friend in the theaters, and how we hung out in Central Park on 59th Street for maybe 2 hours before we had to come home. Now, the details of that, when we were in the theater, I got a couple of texts, and I didn't check them until we left the theater. When we did, it was my brother Richard, who had stage 5 lung and throat sorry lung and throat cancer, and we had been trying to meet up with each other for months. I mean, his busy schedule and my constant always being at doctor's offices and all of that, like, we were never able to hook up in the last year to hang out, but we tried repeatedly and as much as we could, like it. So he was texting me, and I was trying to text him back, and my phone was half dead. So I asked if we could leave the park and just go home so I can charge my phone and answer my brother some more. The very next day, he went into hospice, and nonstop texting, both of us texting back and forth. And he was telling me that he didn't think he was going to make it this time, and I kept trying to tell him to, cheer up, and that you'll be fine. And when he told me that he was in so much pain, and he had been for months, I then told him that if rest is what you need, just go to sleep. Last Wednesday, my brother was pronounced dead, and half the fashion world mourns him because he was a staple. And I couldn't even go to his burial because I had to meet with my surgeon. So I missed that. But his ex-wife told me that what they were going to do is try to do a celebration of life thing and try to put together a documentary about him. And I'm all for helping her out and whatever she needs, given my schedule doesn't screw it up. I think what was possibly more devastating than the loss of my brother was the fact that I broke my daughter's heart in telling her in that way that I do, apparently. I called her, I left her a message that she should get back to me. This is not something you should hear over text or voicemail. And her, in knowing that her uncle had been sick for so long, she checked his Facebook first and saw all the RIP and condolences and whatever. And she called me back after having her freak out, which was merciful to me, but hurts nonetheless. When someone that you love, that has been part of your life forever, just, he didn't want us to see him sick, and he didn't want us to see him in pain, and he refused to get treatment, which I think is probably the strongest, most courageous thing that he did. For a year, they told him he only had 3 months left to live, and for an entire year, he outlived their expectations without going in for the therapies for cancer. It was a bold decision on his part, and he placed his bet on the right numbers. So there is that, and that's how the week began and ended. On Sunday morning, still trying to figure out what I was going to wear to his, burial, and then realized that I couldn't go because of my appointment, and it killed me. But Sunday morning, was a whole different kind of mess. Now, while I'm dealing with all of this, because Wednesday, right? And then Sunday. And we're talking Sunday last week now, because by the time this airs, it'll be at least the following Sunday. But at the earliest, the following. No, I'm recording this on the following Sunday. Soon enough, you'll see this, and you'll. It doesn't matter, because there are news articles and all sorts of news stations that came by to witness and report on said event. So, on top of everything I'm going through, for the last 6 months or so, I've had a construction crew out in front of my windows fixing the gas main. Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m., I heard what seemed to me to be an explosion in front of my windows. Now, I'm in a neighborhood where there's not really very many people who are somebody, so we wouldn't be a high value target if someone were to blow things up. So I was confused by this, and I looked out of my window. I didn't just look out of my window. I looked out of my fire escape window, and I saw the smoke coming from the ground, but I couldn't tell exactly where. So I climbed out onto the fire escape in a tank top and panties, because that was as dressed as I was going to be. Nobody else was on the street. It didn't matter. I got out there, and I saw, billowing from a hole in the ground, just smoke and soot. And from underneath the planks that they had from the construction, also smoke and soot. And I stood out there in shock, smelling the gas, realizing, oh, that's cooking gas. And still not moving, because I'm kind of in shock. Until the entire street was clouded and I couldn't see the building across the street. I could barely see the fire escape I was standing on, so I went back inside. And I closed my windows, all of them, and I called 911. And I started gathering clothing together to put on, because I figured we were probably going to be evacuated, which we were. About 10 minutes after I made that call to 911 and told them that the gas main may have exploded and we need help. So what followed was, firefighter followed me into the apartment while evacuating me, asking if there was anyone else in the apartment. And I'm still in tank top and panties going, no. And he was like, oh, okay. And he turned around and he walked away, and he was like, leave soon. Got you. So I threw on my socks, my pants, my boots, grabbed my sweater and hat on my way out of the door, made sure I had my keys and my phone, and I went downstairs. Now, mind you, all it would have taken for us to blow up is somebody lit a cigarette. Thankfully, nobody did. Until later. So we were being pushed back. When we were leaving the building, we were being pushed back by police to downtown by 2 blocks. Which, if anyone who really, really knows what's going on with my life, they know that 2 blocks away live both of my psychotic stalkers in the neighborhood. So I'm standing in front of her apartment across the street from his apartment, and we're all just looking at the air. Now, if you've ever looked at a radiator on a cold day with the steam as it rises, the way it makes the air wavy, that is how you could see the next 6 blocks from where we were standing. So we're out there inhaling gas for like 4 hours until the Con Edison sent for the gas company, who then finally showed up to cap the pipe, the main. They did. Took an hour and a half. They did it without blowing us up, which is kudos to them. But it's because of them and their constant work on our street that led to the whole eruption on Sunday morning. Now, it's Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. I had plans with my cousin to come over and have dinner with me. And so I'm a very task-oriented person. And if I have a task later on in the day, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get it done. I don't care what state my body is in or my mind is in. It's going to be done, and it's going to be done properly, and it's going to get done. So my brain was still in autopilot mode. I didn't realize I had inhaled as much gas as I had. Although I was standing right above ground zero. It was literally under my windows. Like, I'm an idiot. I get that. I accept that. I pulled a stupid. It's fine. But had I not pulled said stupid, I wouldn't have had the presence of mind to call 911 over the event, because normally my people are very much fuck the cops. But like, if the firefighters can help us not explode, yeah. So I did that. And then when I got back to my apartment, I texted my cousin and told him, "Hey, all clear. Firefighters said that I can cook now." Because I wasn't thinking any further ahead than dinner. So that night, my cousin comes over with his girlfriend, and it was such a lovely time until my head started spinning and I could not stand up straight. I just needed to lay down for a little bit. Like, you ever get a dizzy spell that just randomly waves over your body, and you're just like, I need to lay down for a second. Then you're fine, like 5 minutes later with the air conditioning on or whatever. It felt like that. And my cousin was very sweet, very kind. He grabbed me from falling, and he took me directly to my bedroom, tucked me in. And then him and his girlfriend cleaned up my kitchen and my dining area and all of that before they left, because they didn't want me to have to clean it in the morning. It was very, very sweet of them. So yes, yeah, that happened. And then he reminded me that next week, being this week, they're going to be in Cancun, and then the following week we're going to have our family reunion. That's a video for another day. I'll let you know how that goes. And on that note, I know, I'm sorry, it's been a long video. I will talk to you guys soon.